10 years ago, I left my hometown. I was 18 years old. I could not wait to leave. The town was too small. Everyone knew everyone. Nothing ever changed. I wanted adventure. I wanted the big city. I wanted to be someone new. So I left. And I did not look back. But last month, something happened. My father got sick. Not very sick, but sick enough that I needed to go home. I booked a plane ticket. I packed a small bag. And for the first time in 10 years, I returned to the town where I grew up. Today, I want to tell you what I found there. This story is about how places change. And how we change too. Let me tell you about my hometown. Its name is Millbrook. It is a small town in the countryside. When I lived there, the population was 3,000 people. Maybe 3,002 if someone had a baby. Everyone knew everyone. If you did something stupid on a Saturday night, your mother knew about it by Sunday morning. There was one traffic light, one small grocery store, one coffee shop where old men sat and drank coffee all morning.
Hometown Minnings, the town where you grew up. Population Minnings, the number of people living in a place. Cane Minnings, a stick used to help walking. Belong Minnings, to feel accepted and comfortable somewhere.
When I was a teenager, I hated it. I wanted concerts and museums and restaurants that stayed open after 9 p.m. I wanted to walk down the street and see strangers. People who did not know my name or my family history. So on my 18th birthday, I left. I took a train to the big city. I told myself, I am never coming back to this boring little town. And for 10 years, I kept that promise. I built a good life in the city. I had an apartment, a job, friends. I almost never thought about Millbrook. Then my mother called. Your father fell, she said. He is okay, but he broke his leg. The doctor says he needs rest for 6 weeks. Oh no, I said. Do you need help? There was a pause. He asked for you, my mother said quietly. He didn't say it. You know your father. He never says things. But I could see it in his eyes. He wants to see you. I looked at my calendar. I looked at my busy life. I thought of 1,000 excuses. Then I thought of my father. His quiet hands. His rare smile. How he never asked for anything. Okay, I said. I'm coming. The train ride took 4 hours. The city got smaller behind me. The buildings became fields. The noise became silence. I looked out the window and remembered things. The tree where I learned to ride a bike. The river where I caught my first fish. The hill where I had my first kiss. His name was Tommy. He was terrible at kissing. I smiled at the memory. When the train arrived, I stepped onto the platform. And I felt something strange. My heart was beating fast. I was nervous. Why was I nervous? This was just a small town. Nothing had changed. But everything had changed. Because I had changed. My mother picked me up at the station. She looked older. Her hair was gray now. But her smile was the same. You look tired, she said. I'm fine, Mom, I said. How is Dad? Grumpy. You know your father. He hates sitting still. We drove past Main Street. I looked out the car window. Some things were the same. The old coffee shop was still there. The same old men sat by the window. But other things were different. The grocery store was gone. In its place was a small library. The bookstore where I bought my first novel was now a closed shop with empty windows. The bookstore closed? I asked. 5 years ago, my mother said. Everyone buys books online now. I felt a small sadness. That bookstore was special. The owner, Mr. Peterson, always recommended good books. He let me sit and read for hours without buying anything. Is Mr. Peterson still alive? I asked. My mother was quiet for a moment. He passed away 2 years ago. His funeral was small. Only 10 people came. I looked out the window. The town felt smaller than I remembered. Not just smaller. Older. Tired. After I saw my father, he was fine, just grumpy with a broken leg. I went for a walk. I wanted to see the town alone. I walked to my old school. The building was the same, but the playground had new equipment. I stood by the gate and remembered running in that yard. Laughing, falling and crying, getting up again. I walked to the river. It was still there, of course. The water moved slowly. I sat on a rock and watched. When I was a child, I thought this river was so big, so wide. Now it looked small, ordinary. I walked to the hill where I kissed Tommy. The hill was still there, but the tree was bigger, much bigger. 10 years of growing while I was gone. I sat under that tree for a long time, and I thought about something. When I was 18, I thought this town was too small for me. I thought I was too big for it. But now, sitting under this tree, I realized something different. The town was not small. I was small, young, afraid. I needed to leave because I needed to grow. And I did grow. In the city, I grew taller in my heart. I learned things. I made mistakes. I became someone. But this town was not my enemy. It was my beginning. It was the place that made me. On my last day in Millbrook, I went to the park. There was a bench there. My father used to take me to that bench when I was sad. We would sit together. He would not say anything. He would just put his arm around me. I sat on that bench. The wood was old. Someone had painted it green, but the paint was coming off. I closed my eyes, and for a moment, I was 7 years old again. My father's arm was around me. The world felt safe. When I opened my eyes, I saw an old man walking toward me. He was slow. He used a cane. It was Mr. Henderson. He was the postman when I was a child. He must be 80 years old now. "You're the Miller girl," he said. "I remember you. You used to run so fast. Like the wind." I smiled. "Hello, Mr. Henderson. You remember me." "Of course," he said. "This is a small town. We remember everyone." He sat next to me on the bench. We watched the ducks in the pond. "Are you back for good?" he asked. "No," I said. "Just visiting." He nodded. "That's okay. The town will be here when you come back. We will always be here." And sitting there on that old green bench, next to an old postman who remembered me, I felt something I had not felt in 10 years. I felt home. I returned to the city the next day. My father's leg healed. Everything went back to normal. But something inside me changed. I no longer hate my hometown. I do not want to live there again. My life is in the city now. But I understand something important. You can leave a place. You can build a new life. You can become a new person. But the places that made you, they stay inside you. The river, the hill, the bench, the old postman who remembers your name. They are not your whole life, but they are part of your life. A small, quiet part. Now, I visit Millbrook once a year. I sit on the bench. I walk by the river. I drink coffee at the old coffee shop. And I am not the same girl who left 10 years ago. I am older, wiser, maybe a little tired. But when I sit on that bench, I feel something peaceful. Something that the city can never give me. I feel like I belong somewhere. And that is a good feeling. Thank you for listening to this Level 3 English story. The vocabulary for today is in the description below. Here is my question for you. Have you ever returned to a place from your childhood? A house? A school? A park? Did it feel the same or different? Tell me your story in the comments. I would love to read it. I will see you in the next story. Bye-bye.